If you spent any time shopping for a serious cruising sailboat, you've probably noticed something strange. The boats that say they're long-range cruisers are either enormous, wildly expensive, or both. And every now and then, one sneaks through the cracks. A boat that's just 40 feet long, but is quietly trying to live the lifestyle of something 10 feet bigger. This is the caliber 40 LRC SE, and on paper, it sounds almost too good to be true. Huge tankage, cutter rig, big displacement, long keel, skeg-hung rudder, deep storage, offshore mindset, the kind of boat that looks like it wants to cross oceans instead of Instagram. But there's a twist, because buried inside this boat is one decision so questionable, so unintentionally dramatic, that under the wrong circumstances, it can sound like the boat itself is cracking apart. And no, it's not the rig, it's not the keel, it's the holding tank. Let's get into it. Our friends over at Dave Walters Yachts just listed one of these boats for sale, which is why this topic came up. I'll link their ad for that boat in the description if you want to see it. Now, Caliber Yachts built a reputation in the 90s and early 2000s for making what I'd call a no apologies cruiser. These were not light boats. They weren't fast boats. They weren't trying to win races or impress a dock crowd with modern lines and twin helms and twin rudders. They were trying to solve one problem. How do you live aboard comfortably, safely, and independently for a very long time? The 40 LRC was their answer for sailors who didn't want a 50-footer, didn't want a center cockpit palace, but still wanted range. And when you start looking at the numbers, you can see what they were aiming for. Displacement north of 21,000 pounds. Ballast roughly 9,500 pounds, giving you a ballast ratio in the mid 40% range. That's heavy by modern standards, but heavy on purpose. Tankage is enormous for a 40-footer. You're looking at roughly 200 plus gallons of fuel and close to 180 gallons of water depending on the configuration. That alone tells you what kind of boat this is. This is not a marina hopper. This is not a boat designed to leave and not immediately need to come back. This is like buying 75 bottles of champagne for your New Year's Eve party. You don't want to run out. Under sail, expectations need to be set properly on this boat. The boat is not going to point like a modern performance cruiser. Owners and reviewers consistently report tacking angles well over 100 degrees, sometimes closer to 110 or 115 when loaded down for cruising. Translation: if you're clawing off a lee shore in light air, this is not your weapon of choice. But in real cruising conditions, especially with breeze, reef down, stay sail set, this boat earns its keep. Owners describe it as solid, predictable, and reassuring. The kind of boat that doesn't surprise you. It heals, it settles in, and it just keeps going. No drama, no twitchiness. And that theme continues everywhere you look. The rudder is skeg-hung and supported at multiple points. The hull is solid glass. Bulkheads are heavily tabbed. Chain plates are robust. This is very much an old-school conservative approach to boat building. It's closer in philosophy to an island packet than anything you might call modern or French. Below decks is where that 40 that thinks it's a 50 idea really comes alive. The interior volume on this boat is shocking the first time you step into one. Big galley, massive storage, deep settees, large nav area, and in the LRC SE version, everything feels geared toward living aboard rather than weekend entertaining. This is not a boat with decorative storage. This is a boat with where do I put 6 months worth of food storage? And then we arrive at the forward part of the boat, the bow, the collision bulkhead, the place where things start to get interesting. Because Caliber made a decision here that in theory sounds clever and in practice has scared the absolute heck out of more than one boat owner. The forward holding tank on the 40 LRC is massive, over 100 gallons, and instead of being a standalone plastic or a metal tank, it's molded as an integral part of the hull structure, forming part of the collision bulkhead. On paper, that sounds efficient. You save space, you lower the center of gravity, you integrate structure and function together. But here's the problem. If the vent line for that holding tank becomes clogged, which happens, and someone applies suction, like during a pump out, or pressure by flushing the toilet, the force involved doesn't just act on a tank, it acts on the hull. We documented owner reports where pump out attempts created terrifying cracking sounds, followed by loud whooshing noises as pressure finally equalized. In at least one case, owners believed the hull laminate itself was beginning to flex or delaminate under the pressure differential. This is not a maintenance issue, this is a design consequence. To be clear, this doesn't mean every caliber 40 is doomed. Many owners mitigate the risk by obsessively maintaining vent lines, enlarging the vents, adding secondary vents, or modifying pump-out procedures. But it is a built-in vulnerability that an owner needs to understand. While we're talking about systems, there are a few other ones that we pointed out that are worth mentioning. Deck fills for fuel and water are close together and not always clearly labeled. Owners have complained about the risk of cross-contamination. It's the kind of thing that seems minor until you accidentally pump some diesel into your fresh water tank and ruin your entire week. The main sheet traveler is mounted on the coach roof, which is fine structurally, but it means trimming the main often pulls the helmsman away from the wheel. If you're single-handed or short-handed, or especially with couples, it might be an ergonomic consideration. None of these are deal breakers, but they're not nothing. Now let's talk about price, because this is where the Caliber 40 LRC gets interesting again. Depending on the year and condition, you'll see these boats listed anywhere from about $100,000 to just under $200,000 for clean, late model SE versions with good gear. And here's the key point. At those prices, you're competing with boats that look newer, sail better, and market themselves more aggressively, but often carry half the tankage, lighter construction, and far less real cruising capability. So the question becomes, what kind of sailor is this boat actually for? If you dream about performance sailing, pointing high, light air finesse, and sailing instead of motoring whenever possible, this is probably not your boat. But if your vision of cruising looks like this, anchored 95% of the time in beautiful places, sailing when conditions are reasonable, carrying tons of fuel, loads of water, and a lot of food, and valuing comfort, storage, and predictability over speed, then the Caliber 40 LRC starts to make a lot of sense. It's a boat that doesn't try to impress you quickly. It's a boat that makes more sense the longer you look at it. And like many serious cruising designs, it rewards owners who understand it and punishes those who assume it behaves like something it's not. The irony is that the thing that might scare some buyers away, that massive integrated holding tank, is also a perfect symbol of the boat itself. Overbuilt, ambitious, slightly weird, and absolutely convinced it knows better than you do. So if you're shopping for a used cruising sailboat and you want something that lives bigger than its length, carries more than it should, and feels like it was designed by people who actually went to sea, the Caliber 40 LRC deserves a very close look. Just make sure the vents are clear. If you're interested in more on this story, here's the article, Caliber 40 LRC Used Boat Review. This well-built cruising boat with an attractive wood interior has loads of room, but sails marginally to windward and has a few problems with its tanks. I'll leave a link in the description for you to check it out. While you're here, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on this video. Really helps us out, but also lets YouTube know that you like sailboat videos, so it'll show you more of them. How cool is that? And hit subscribe so I can see you again next time.